Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome to Valkyria Chronicles 2. So I've been wanting to play this for a bit now, and I've finally gotten around to it. It's not a easy thing to get recorded. Well, I shouldn't say that. I wanted to do it on actual hardware rather than emulation if I could help it. So, EC 1937, turbulent times turned classmates into comrades in arms. 2 years after the conflict with the Empire, the Gallian government sends students to its military academy to help quell the civilian war that has broken out. Ivan will learn and fight alongside his friends in this tactical RPG featuring a myriad of encounters. So let's get started. A couple things to note. Since I am playing this on actual hardware, I'm playing on a PSP connected with a video out cable to my capture card, which is then running to a splitter so I can get headphone sound, and then running to my TV, in my computer. So, one of the slightly annoying things that happens because of the way the PSP's TV out works is it doesn't fully crop to the screen. It does in the menu, but you're going to notice in a second here that it's not going to fit your screen too well. Hey guys, so I didn't realize until after I started editing, but the audio in this one is a little bit too loud. Mostly the music, but you'll hear occasionally that certain characters are just talking too loud, and it kind of makes a harsh noise on the sound. I fixed that for the next one. Sorry about that ahead of time, but hopefully you'll forgive me. You'll see it in a second. I'm going to skip this voiceover. Okay, so you might have been able to see right there. We're playing on 60% of the screen real estate. Here, we're going to skip that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I need to get my TV remote, and I'm going to crop down the screen. It's got a function where it can zoom in a bit. For you guys, I'm going to edit the video to zoom in a bit, so it'll fill more of your screen. The, of course, negative side of that is it is going to come out a little bit more stretched. But I'm going to try to keep the aspect ratio so at least it looks right. And I usually prefer to play on actual hardware rather than emulation if I can help it. So give me just a sec. Alright, that'll help a bit. Get a nice widescreen TV here. I've got a really large TV actually. And I know. And I've got it zoomed in now, so it'll look better for me, and for you guys it shouldn't affect anything. So, let's get started. Now, I have previously played, in fact, if we go to load game, you'll see I've got some saves already in here. But, we're going to start with a new game. I never finished the game, and if you're familiar with this game, you know that it's very grindy. So what I've decided to do, because I still want to play it, I think the story is still fairly interesting, is we're going to do a lot of editing to cut down on the grindiness and kind of keep more to the main storyline. So we will play on normal, and yes. And this is on actual hardware, like I said, so if you do occasionally hear the disc spin up inside the PSP, it is like my controller. I don't have a controller separate. I'm playing on the PSP, it's just, instead of on the screen, it's on my TV. So you may occasionally hear the disc spin up inside of the PSP. It's fairly loud in person. I'm hoping it'll keep from being too loud for the recording here.
The year? 1935. Two powers stood poised for war. The East European Imperial Alliance, and in the West, the Atlantic Federation. Open conflict erupted as they vied for control of the continent. The Second European War had begun. Caught between giants, the small principality of Gallia. No small prize, Gallia possessed rich deposits of ragnite ore, a valuable energy source. The Imperial Alliance marched on Gallia, hoping to claim those resources for its own. The Empire conquered more than half of Gallia before the Gallian militia turned the tide and expelled the invaders. 1937. 2 years have passed since the Imperial Alliance invaded Gallia. But across the continent, the fires of war still rage. I'm looking for an Yvonne Hardens.
Well, looks like you found him. What can I do for you?
These little video sequences actually look really good, all things considering.
My name is Hubert Brixham. I instruct at the Landseal Royal Military Academy.
And I think most of the story-related stuff is voiced, which is really nice too. But what you'll start to see when we get into the gameplay, that's where a lot of the corners cut to fit it on a PSP were made. I'll explain it as we go along a bit more, but the first game was on the PS3. That's how it started. It's since been ported to, I think, PS4 and a PC, which is a overall very good port. It's got a couple problems. But this is Valkyria Chronicles 2, only released to the PSP. It's got a lot of problems, but I still think it's a pretty interesting game, and I still like the series overall, even if they had to cut some major corners. We'll discuss those more as the series goes on.
Hey, my brother Leon goes there.
This is our main character over here on the left.
You'll confirm that this is your brother, then?
Yep, that's him, all right. So, how's he doing?
I realize this is sudden, and it pains me to be the bearer of sad tidings. But your brother, Leon Hardens, has passed away.
Oof.
What?
I offer you my sincerest condolences.
Hey, wait, just a minute. How did he die?
Just getting right into it, aren't we?
All that goes on at the Academy is classified for national security. I'm afraid I cannot tell you any of the details surrounding his death.
You can't tell me! That's messed up! I'm his family! Leon wouldn't... My brother can't be dead. Man, that's crazy! He was stronger than anybody I ever... What?
And just like the first game.
Bad news, Yvonne. We got rebels. They're attacking Melvir.
Rebels? Now? Of all the times they could pick. Grab your guns, guys. We'll join the town guard and send them packing.
Oh, okay.
Just remember what we all learned back in training, and we'll be fine. Now let's go!
We're fighting against, like, armies right now. I don't know how the town guard's supposed to deal with this. Alright, so... the game plays out, for the most part, very similar, and if you consider the fact that they did manage to take the gameplay from the PS3 version and fit it onto a PSP, that in itself is fairly impressive. It's just, when you start to realize the the necessary things that they had to cut out in order to do it, that's where it gets a little bit iffy. But anyway, the rebel army is attacking Melvir, join forces of the town guard to defeat all enemy units. It's fairly similar to how the game was before. This one's going to be very tutorial-esque right here, though. And I don't know if they even let me... Nah, they've already fixed these positions, so I can't do much here. We're just basic fighting here.
Here we go, guys! These rebels are history!
And I do appreciate that so much of this game is voiced, actually. Really does flesh it out a bunch.
Listen up now.
Yvonne Hardens. Or Yvonne, sorry. There's something I'd like to go over with you. Unit action. So this is tutorial stuff. Anytime you hear that, you know, that means a tutorial is going to drop on you. If you played the first game, this is very similar. They've adjusted a little bit for the system, but it's very similar. So I'm going to skip over this relatively quickly. If you do feel like you really want to read a lot of this stuff, feel free to pause. Good luck out there. Don't forget what I've told you. Alright. So we can pick our units. We've got command points. You will notice that in order to get everything to quite fit on the screen, it gets a little bit blurry on some of that text. You can certainly read it, of course, but it's not super sharp all the time. It's a little unfortunate.
Moving out.
After selecting unit, you will enter action mode where you can move the unit, analog stick. There is no second joystick, so L and R acts as like your right joystick for panning left and right. Alright. So, I mean, if you look at it, it certainly obviously looks very low resolution compared to the original game. The textures aren't super high quality, but, I mean, it's fully featured in a lot of ways. Alright, so we're going to attack an enemy. If I remember right, I do remember that fumbling the buttons was a common thing for me, so that still might happen. Also, right, so this control stick lets you move a lot like this, but if you're trying to do fine aiming, it's not very good. Like, I'm trying to, you know, center on his head. It's a little bit hard, so you can use the control pad and get a much finer sense of movement.
Coming at you. All right.
And you can end the move by pressing start. So yeah, there's command points. I'm not going to specifically try to aim for A ranks all the time, though obviously having prior knowledge of the game is going to make hitting A ranks a lot easier.
Okay.
So we're going to pick Avon again just to get some more movement. Sandbags make you take less damage. It's always a kind of thing as well where even if you're in a position where the sandbags aren't covering you, if you are crouched behind a sandbag, you still take reduced damage. Just something good to know.
Coming at you.
There we go.
Enemy down.
It's not the best way to play this game, mind you. Yeah, see, we're not really fully covered, but we're still taking reduced damage. That's how the game deals with sandbags. You just take less damage.
Let's go.
This is not the way to play the game, but this is a good way to make sure you can get everything done in one turn.
Coming at you.
That's how the rifles are meant to be used, at ranges of 2 feet or less. It's very familiar, if, you know, once again, if you played the first game.
All right. We sent them packing.
No, we actually killed them. Just a small squad, but we definitely murdered them. I just want to make sure we know that. So just like before, you get rated on how you did. Usually getting it done as quick as possible, it gets you the best score.
Phew. That should keep them out of Melvir for a while.
A fine bit of leadership, gathering those men in the face of a surprise attack.
Yeah, they didn't do anything, actually. I did all the work.
Apparently, it's a family trait.
Hey, you really won't tell me how my brother died.
That is correct. It's classified information, I'm afraid.
I guess that ends our conversation. You'll just have to let me into your academy then.
What? You want to enroll?
Leon can't be dead. My brother just wouldn't go down that easy. Period.
I must beg to differ. This certificate of death indicates that he...
Spare me the paperwork. I'm telling you, I don't
Ripping
buy it.
noise.
Not until I see proof with my own eyes.
Then I suppose you'll be needing this.
What is it?
An application for new enrollment at Landseal.
I have to apply? Come on, you said you're a teacher!
As a non-scouted applicant, you'll face stricter standards for acceptance. If you still wish to apply, I won't stop you. All are at liberty to try. But if you think just anyone can get in, well, you'll learn soon enough. Now, if you'll excuse me, perhaps we'll meet again. Good day.
Leon, just like you always said, if Gallia's ever gonna be at peace again, guys like us have to fight for it. Application for student enrollment? Fine, I'll pass your stupid test. And then there's gonna be no stopping me. I'm coming for you, Leon.
That's it? Okay. I was waiting for something like a title, to come across the screen or something.
1937. The Principality of Gallia. Still reeling from the recent invasion, Gallia now faces new troubles from within. Following the ceasefire between Gallia and the Imperial Alliance, the new Archduchess, Cordelia Guy Randgries, chooses to make public her Darkson heritage. Many respond favorably to her candor, but not all. United by their hatred of the Darksons, a group of nobles forms the Gallian Revolutionary Army. Commonly known as the Rebels, their campaign to purge Gallia of any Darkson influence soon earns them great favor in the south. The stage is set for the Gallian Civil War.
There's the title. So yeah, basically, once again, it's racism. Nobody likes the Darksons, or at least half of the people don't, I guess. And now we're in a civil war. Made up my mind a week ago, Leon. Now, here I am, just like that. That laugh, you're gonna get aggravated by it. That happens a lot. Your school, the Landseal Royal Military Academy. Oof, sure was a haul, though. My butt's still numb from the train ride. Man, is this place big? How many students does a school like this have? It's pretty cool to see it all for myself after hearing all about it from you. Leon.
I'll do it!
First things first. Gotta go pass this entrance exam. They said I need to change into uniform and get into the classroom. Here goes. He doesn't have too many, voice lines in terms of audio lines you hear when, there's no text.
Military Academy. The oldest and most prestigious martial institution in all of Gallia. Here, cadets drill tirelessly to live up to the standards set by those who have gone before. The school motto, never far from their thoughts. Victory through diligence, peace through strength.
Alright. So, and we'll get familiar with this more later, but this is the school that we attend. Landseal Academy. This is sort of like the main hub screen, I guess you would say. It's where we'll select most of the stuff between battles from. And the double red exclamation point, I think, means this is like a story thing. We'll see more later on it. They might even explain that to us. Yep, there's that laugh again, I told you. I actually like Yvonne. He seems kind of really excited all the time, which might come across as a little bit negative, but I kind of like his character. Dang, I look pretty good in this outfit. That's gotta be a good sign. But what kind of school makes you wear a uniform just to get on campus? No, Leon said access was restricted when I asked if I could visit. National security and blah blah blah. Outsiders arrested on sight. Brutal. Well, that's the military for you. At least I got this loaner for the exams. First up's the written test. Brain work was never my forte. I think this calls for a dip into the Leon files. Oh no, haha! Perfect! Your greatest adversary lies within. Wage war with the weakness in yourself. I love motivational speeches. Dang, that's so true, bro! You always had the best quotes.
I'll do it!
Alright, Leon. I'm gonna go do this. Wish me luck.
Hey, is this seat taken?
All yours.
Sugoi anime girls.
Hey, so, my name's Yvonne. Nice to meet you.
Hi. My name's Cosette Yvonne. It's really nice to meet you. And thanks for the seat.
Hey, anytime.
I'm trying to concentrate, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay then. Somebody's a little uptight.
Honestly.
You're not the only ones trying to take a test here. Quiet down. Oh, right, sorry. I'll be super quiet. What's your problem, man? You don't have to be all rude about it. Come on, we're all in this together. We should be supportive here. Is she holding her breath? Supportive? Look, I came here because I was scouted. Thanks, but I don't need support from some starry-eyed applicant. What?
What?
Cosette, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Blah! Huff pant. I was trying so hard to stay quiet, I kind of stopped breathing. What? How did that seem like a good idea to you?
Honestly.
It's like a train wreck. I don't want to stare, but... Hey, she was only doing it because of your jerk comment. I don't recall asking her to asphyxiate, though it's sounding more appealing.
Just a minute.
Quiet in the back. The test is set to start. I'm unnamed teacher. Jerk.
Hey!
Let's just all get through this, yeah? Good luck, guys.
Hey!
Hey, look at that guy. The dark blue hair, that's a Darkson, yeah? Are they even allowed in here? So much for high standards.
Hey!
The test will begin now. I'll begin by passing out your question booklets. Boy, the racism is everywhere still. It would make sense, it's only 2 years later, right? Pencils down. I'll collect your response sheets now. Next up is the field exam. Dress for combat and report to the drill ground. Managed to get to all the questions, but I was mostly guessing. Guess I'll just have to make up for it on the field exam. He does that pose a lot, by the way, that fist in the air thing. There's not a lot of poses that he has, so he'll do that one a lot. Alright, select and save to save. Saving is good before any combat op. Anything can happen out there. So let's go ahead and do that. It has been a little while since I've played with the PSP, so expect me to flub up on the buttons every once in a while. I'll get better with them as we go along. Alright, to the drill grounds.
I'm Rodriguez, that's sir to you. I'm the proctor for your field exam. You will now form teams of 3 and participate in simulated combat.
Is this Bender from Futurama? I think it might be.
Hands answer when called. Cosette Colehurth.
Yes, sir.
Next is Zeri.
Yes, sir.
Last up, Yvonne Hardens.
Yo, sir!
Why doesn't Zeri have a last name?
You are Team A.
Hey, we're on the same team, Yvonne. Let's give it our best shot.
And she's familiar too. I think she might be Estelle from Tales of Vesperia, I think.
You bet. All set to go, Zeri?
Just my luck, I get the two of you dumped on me.
And I'm sure he's familiar too, but I can't remember right off.
Excuse me? You care to repeat that, tough guy?
Hey guys, stop it. We should focus on the test now.
Pipe down, maggots. If you're ready to begin, step forward. You won't be using live ammo here, but a hit to the wrong spot can still kill. Don't go dropping your guard just because this is a simulation.
As if. I've got plans, and none of them involve dying here.
Oh, I'm all nervous. I hope this goes well.
It's like my brother used to say. Oh yeah. Envision the self you wish to be, then take action to become him. We're gonna win this. In a landslide, for sure. All right, let's go, you two. Move out!
Okay.
Alright, so I think, yeah, we're doing more fighting. This is once again going to be more tutorial, so try to go through it quickly. Your combat skills will be put to test in this mock battle. Yvonne, Zeri, and Cosette must capture the enemy base camp in Area 2. Alright, what's next? Squad is all placed, so we're just deploying again. And we're going to see how they try to make the spaces a little bit bigger, despite the fact that we're working on very limited hardware here compared to PS3. This was their attempt to make the battlefields bigger.
Zeri, Cosette, we're beating these guys and getting in!
Listen up!
Field test is about to begin. If you want to make it back alive, listen up. Alright, camps are important. And deploy reinforcements and command units to fall back and wait. Units also receive a bonus to their defense and HP recovery rate while in a camp. That's yours. Capture enemy camps. It's good. So we gotta head up there and capture the camp. Alright, so let's play with everyone so you can see kind of how they work. So, scouts are very similar to how they were in previous games. I mean, all these units are more or less similar, but, you know, scouts they run pretty far. They don't have a ton of defense, but they have pretty good range. That was their good thing, and they ended up, if you upgraded them in the last game, they ended up being very capable units. You kind of use them for a lot, actually. Shock troopers are pretty good. They have a pretty decent amount of defense and some good close to mid-range-ish attack. So we'll pick up a Zeri here.
Watch and learn.
Grenades and clearing sandbags. Enemy units crouching in sandbags. Can't do much. So you're gonna spend a large amount of CP. A better idea is to use grenades. Yes. Oh yeah, so other interesting stuff. I'm going to try to go over what I can. So we've got our machine gun here. We've also got our grenade, which they're referring to. We're going to use in a second. Okay, he doesn't have it, but I think it was previous games. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. It has been a little while since I played Valkyria Chronicles, but I think, if I'm not remembering it wrong, I think everyone could use healing before. Now I think only, like, engineers can. Either that or it's flip-flopped. Like, it was only engineers used to be able to do it and everyone can now. I can't quite remember, but I'll investigate it a little bit more and find out. So we're going to grenade him, blow him out. He doesn't take too much damage, but he gets him, knocked down. Ender turn there. So So we're gonna send out Cosette.
Covered.
So she is an engineer, I believe. Yeah, she's an engineer. She gets given a pistol, I think it is. So not as good at accuracy as the rifle, but they're still fairly powerful, and they can still be used for a lot of things. They also have a lot of movement to them. Yeah, she is healing here, so we could heal up Zeri if we needed to. But for right now, just pistol. If we manage to land all 5 shots on, or 5 of the 6 shots on his face will kill him, but it's unlikely. Nah, not quite.
Okay, let's go.
We'll send Yvonne in to clean up. Let's see. Yeah, Yvonne doesn't get the health, so I think it's that they make it... Because the thing was before, I think engineers were not incredibly useful before. They were kind of useful. Like, I think they were useful for taking out landmines and stuff. And stuff like that. I think they've made engineers more useful now than they used to be.
Enemy down.
The dotted orange circle when you're aiming is where your accuracy will cause you to hit somewhere in that circle. So you won't always get where you want to. So anyway, you have to defeat any enemies that are in a camp to capture it. And then you can press circle to capture. The thing is that enemies can also capture your camp. So key strategic ones where you think enemies might get to, especially your base camp, you gotta leave somebody there usually. Occasionally I'll pull somebody off, but only if the entire tile is like completely free of enemies. There's no way an enemy could get in. That kind of thing. Alright. So this is the other sheet. The other battle arena. Not much going on there yet. Not too much damage. He's standing, so he's not getting as much cover. The big part of this game, especially if you're defending, is trying to position your units in such a way that they will end up, killing enemies whose AI causes them to run around and take too much damage. That is a fairly common way to go about this. You could do it in the original game too, mind you, but that's carried over in this game too. So now we can capture with circle. So now we own this enemy camp. And now capture the camp. This camp is known as a gateway camp, which is a camp that connects 2 areas. By capturing this gateway camp, you're able to deploy units in Area 2. However, you can only have a total of 6 units deployed in all areas at the same time. It's a gateway camp to pull out units. That's the big thing, is that if you cleared an area and there are no enemies and no enemies are going to come in there, any units there are just taking away from your like count of how many people you can have. So it's useful to just get rid of them after that. Put them into standby so you can actually pull them into the next area. So we need to stand by them.